Chris Ponnwitz is with us right now from Mack Boring. You know, that name's been around for, what, over 100 years in the marine
I
industry?
think we're at 104 years now.
So you got distribution down to a pat, right?
I hope so.
Want to talk about a boat electrification, because I know that's a passionate part of your job, and I don't think enough people realize the developments that are taking place on an almost monthly basis right now.
Yeah, the company I represent is called ePropulsion. They came on board, I think, 14 years ago now. Started with small motors, but I swear every time we turn around the last 2 years, there's new motors coming out, not just from ePropulsion, but they're getting higher output, better batteries. I think we're up to about 300 horsepower now in the market. ePropulsion goes up to about 40 kilowatt, but now when you walk around this show, it's everywhere. And it's not just motor guys anymore. Now people are selling full systems. So now you can get on bigger, better boats. They're not just for dinghies and tenders anymore. They're not just a convenient solution for somebody on a sailboat. Now they're high performance, high output, really reliable, low maintenance alternative to gasoline and ice.
Coming from Europe, it's developing here.
It's everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I think China kind of really got the ball rolling with us with ePropulsion, but there's a couple U.S.-based manufacturers that are really starting to put their foot on the gas, and they're in production. They have facilities. They're rigging boats, so it's really exciting to see.
Is there one thing that's going to really help, you think, allow this to explode into the mainstream?
So there's a few things. I do think if you look at the kind of the clean energy that we've been looking for quite some time, even with the development in cleaner diesel, with the common rail systems, all that stuff, getting government grants for some of these commercial vessels and moving that, more available to the electric or the hybrid side is really going to help start to move that along. But also just battery innovation, right? So a lot of the batteries on the market, we're still using nickel-based or LFPs. But there's now new solid-state batteries in the marine market, which are really exciting. So the closer we get to the power density of fuel in a battery, the better off we're going to be.
When you look at innovators in the marketplace in the world, and forget the politics side of Elon Musk for a moment, is that a guy that the industry looks up to as a true innovator, an inventor, if you will, of technology that spurs other things along?
Let's call it a disruptor.
Disruptor, okay.
Right? Yeah, so he came in, he disrupted that market so fast, so hard, that it kind of just opened the door for a lot more people to be able to do that. I mean, you look at the marine industry, our power and propulsion forever was inboard, stern drive, diesel, right? And then, 12 years ago?
Something like that.
You blinked, you walked down the docks, gasoline outboards everywhere. Some of these guys that I never thought would get out of the outboard or inboard industry are now doing outboards. So, I mean, there's disruptors. So we get to those points, and I think Torqeedo, Elco, and ePropulsion have disrupted the market tremendously and are really, I think we're all better for it.
The reliability obviously has become the number one goal there.
Yeah, I think it's reliability and ease of use for how you want to use your boat. All right, so for 9 years, really, we were selling on convenience. Right, no maintenance, no fuel. You can store it anywhere. The smaller ones are really light and portable. Now we're getting to a point where we're selling on performance, but we still kept all that other stuff.
So the marketing manager's job, the role has changed a little bit with a message, because we're no longer selling just those specific benefits, but trying to draw in somebody else to the fold that maybe hadn't looked at electrification.
Yeah, I think a lot of the mistakes we made early on were focusing on competing or voicing your message compared to other electric manufacturers. Now we're at a point in the industry with the amount of innovation that's been happening is we're now competing with the gasoline, right? We're competing with the diesel. We're not competing in the electric space, we're competing in the marine industry. So that's really exciting. So yeah, that message kind of has to switch over a little bit.
When you look at the world, the global and business market, is there legislative efforts underway that you think are going to make electrification more appealing or require it along the way? I mean, common rail change with diesel was a significant change.
Yeah, I mean, there's always legislation happening. On a federal level, it's hard to keep up with right now. So there's a lot of changes, a lot of back and forth. I gotta tell the NMMA, I love getting involved with the going to DC and doing the ABYC conference and all that. They're always pushing for the best of the industry. On state and local levels, especially out west and up north in the Great Lakes, there's legislation happening a couple times a year where more waterways are becoming electrified. They're getting harsher, what do you call it? Exhaust regulations and all that stuff. So if we couple those with grants and making it easier, and it's not just for motors and repowers, infrastructure. Grants for new infrastructure is what's going to absolutely skyrocket the market.
Change that part. You mentioned ABYCC. New standards have to be written for new technology. Mm-hmm. Does that, in this era of cooperation across brands, do you kind of like open your doors a little bit wider to let the standards writers come through? Or
yeah, I think, I say it all the time and hear it all the time, especially in the industry, the tide rises all, right? So the electric people, the people that are in the electric market right now, we are all very close. We all talk to each other. We all trade ideas. We have to educate the market with a single voice. So I can't be talking about horsepower where he's talking about kilowatt, and this person can't be marketing peak power when everybody else is doing continuous power. So we try to have that voice all as one, and that goes with the regulations too, because we all have to install this stuff. We need to know that it's safe. We need to make sure that the regulations are being met, especially when we get to the commercial side of thing. And, electric's really great for passenger vessels. So those regulations have to be in place. We all have to have some input on them and make sure that, they're beneficial to everybody.
How do you deal with a U.S. standard power grid versus a European power grid, which is different?
Most of the chargers now are smart, so they can switch between 110, 220, different voltages. You can kind of adjust them, so different amperages. So that's really a non-issue. It's really if we suddenly wake up tomorrow and your 100-boat marina has 60 electric boats, how do we charge?
Right.
How do we not?
Barely have enough electric now.
So, and that's where the new power density comes into place, new solar options. The faster we could charge a battery, the more options we have for solar to be effective, or wind, or hydro generation. And it also might allow us to be able to put power stations on docks where we're not physically wiring these things into the grid. We can have maybe a sodium-based battery sitting on the dock that's solar charging all day that you can fast charge from. Right?
How receptive do you feel the U.S. government is in this first year of the Trump administration to allowing infrastructures to change in marinas? It was an easier thing when we were doing the Clean Marina program and there was money available. Yeah. And I'm assuming that's what you're looking for, is a similar program for electrification.
I don't think it's a huge focus right now. I don't think anybody's pushing back on it, but it's not, I wouldn't call it a focus, right? So yeah, like I said, I think unfortunately we have so many marinas in this, especially on the East Coast, where if you want to do something or upgrade, it's coming 100% out of your own pocket. So if we can get some more of those funding solutions out the door, then it just makes it a little bit easier. Even if it starts with one, maybe I can get one charge station. Maybe I can upgrade my amperage. Maybe I can move, upgrade the dock. Just, it's little things.
How about distribution? That's another topic, obviously, with the company. I'm sure the tariffs haven't made for a lovely year for you.
It's been challenging. I don't think the alarms aren't going off in my head yet. I think I'm more frustrated than anything else on the tariff side, just because there's been so much uncertainty, right? I think we would all be in a much better spot today if in April it just happened.
Right.
Instead of the back and forth and the pauses, I think
And
the
it's still
pauses are
still up in the air as whether it's legal.
yes, and the pauses are just I think they're destroying consumer sentiment right now. So I think if it just locks in, we can all start to plan and figure it out.
Chris, thanks very much for spending some time sharing your thoughts with us.
I appreciate it.
Always good to see you.
Thank you.
And from IBEX in Tampa, I'm Alan Wendt.